Hi, great people. Evans here, and I just bought O2 oxygen sensor and for my Mazda, and it was really quite expensive. And this spare parts or this specific type of sensor is really quite expensive, and it plays really an important role in a car. And it's also bad for the environment. When this stuff goes bad in your car, that means like your car is going to use a lot of fuel. It's going to do a lot of emission problems, and the engine light will come on. So you have to check it. It's advisable to change this thing about 150,000 kilometers. And yeah, this was the oxygen sensor that I had it in my car. And normally to get the original, they're really expensive. I called Mazda, the original Mazda company, and they told me I have to pay about 250 euros, which is really quite expensive. Just a small thing like this one cost 250 euros. So, but I went to buy a car in a company called KFZ Tyler. It's in Germany, and I got a really good one also. It's because also it's really advisable to use the original and the best quality of these sensors, because we have the other ones on the internet you can find with 20 euros, 30 euros, but they are not going to work out. Like example here, I bought once long time ago for a car that I owned. My first car that I owned, it was Opel Astra, and it had also the same problem. And this was where I got it. I don't know if you can see it. I will put later in the camera. It doesn't have any mark, it doesn't have any number, it doesn't have any information. It just comes with just a paper like this one, and you can compare it with the Denso. It's the most of the good quality products. They are producing these sensors, and you can compare it. Inside it comes with really some nice stuff wrapped with a nylon paper, and it comes also with some manual, some Denso information on how to install it, and a really nice box with some numbers. This is docs 0113, made in USA, and you can feel it's a really good product compared to just rip off some cheap stuff here. And inside it comes with a paper. It comes also with some harness connectors, because you have to connect it. This is not an original sensor, because I will have to use the other harness of my old sensor. I will show you in the car. And also it comes with anti-seize, and also you can see the sensor is here, really nice and neat, and it's here written Denso assembly in USA. You feel it, it's a really nice product. And yeah, so I'm going to test to show you also the bad sensor, and what you need in order to find out about the bad sensor, because these sensors, they can go off, but I mean they can get they can't transmit the information to the computer ECU, but still the car will not give you the warning light. So I am going to use some simple tools that I have here in my small garage, as you can see, to show you the bad sensor, what you have to check, and which cables, because it's just a simple thing to check. There are 4 wires. Normally the first sensor long time ago, so if you're wondering where these sensors located, the oxygen or O2 sensor, they are located in the exhaust system. The modern system have at least 2 for inline engine and 4 for V engines. The first sensor is located in front of the catalyst converter. The converter is this, it's on the exhaust system, and the second is located at the cat. So the ECM uses the O2 sensor data as a measure of fuel management and cat performance. So the ECM looks at the data when it fixes conditions like, adjusting the air ratio and the oxygen in the combustion engine, and it sends the information to the ECU. It's a really quite test to show you the bad oxygen sensor and a good oxygen sensor. What you need is just a simple multimeter here. This is my multimeter. First of all, we are going to test the bad oxygen sensor. It's still working, but for the sake of just showing you how to put this terminals here. So the first thing that you wanted to test in your oxygen sensor is the continuity of the heater core. There's a heater core inside here. When it reaches a certain temperature, this O2 sensor function only when it's reach a certain temperature, maybe 500 to 600 degrees Celsius, really hot, that it functions. But nowadays, most of the O2 sensors comes with a different colors cable here. There's black, gray, and two whites. The two whites one, or the cables which are the same in color, these are for the heater, and the two ones, they belongs to the sensor. It gives the certain voltage to the ECU, ECM, or ECM, for it to communicate. So I'm going to test the continuity of these two cables here. So you put here to the continuity mark, and then test if the heater inside is still okay. So you can hear it, the continuity is still there. And you can also test the other ones if the sensor is okay by hitting this oxygen sensor on top here, because the sensor is located here, and measure these two cables. Check on these two cables how many voltage is it going to produce, because the sensor produces its own volts. It produces its own volts for it to function. So when you hit it, it's these two cables has to show you or to give you a certain voltage. Most sensors gives you up to 1 volt. It not cost more. So yeah, I wish I could do it to test it, but just for the sake of this video and to maybe show you how to, you can just hit this one with maybe a torch or a heater. Just make it hot. Like, I wish I could show you, but I don't have time for it, but I will show you in the car, or maybe it's part of this video also. You hit up here and measure these two cables and to see how many voltage are going to give you. Also, you can check the ohms. You can put ohms and check also the two. You see, yeah, it's 0.4 ohms, which is okay. It's working. So yeah, but the most important thing, guys, if you are changing this sensor, you have to use the original and the most the really recommended product, the really recommended companies, especially Danso. We have Danso. These are one of the best. We have Danso, we have Porsche, we have NGK, the company that produces also the spark plugs, and yeah, so that Let me test now the good O2 sensor, the good sensor, and then you will see the difference, how the voltage is fluctuating. You see, it starts moving. This is a good O2 sensor. You see 0.4, and my torch is not so powerful enough, but it's working. These are 0.5, 0.4. The fire is gone out. You will see it going to 0 back because it's cooling down. It's really cooling quickly. I'm not burning it right now, but if I continue burning, the voltage will go higher. And this is how the oxygen sensor is working. Guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, see you in the next videos.